Ah, there we go. How much baloney must we put up with? This is House of Prozorov, thoughts from the deep state, getting deep, using that Russian-Ukrainian name to irritate the elite who hate Russia, and they want their banks and they want everything for NATO, and they want to give all our money away to fight against Russia. They won't help you with your student loan debt, and then they'll use the general public to say, hey, I pay my bills, I don't want your student loans debts being paid off. Meanwhile, it's not even the same argument. They're thinking about, the student loans have been changed. Student loans used to be able to buy people houses and cars on top of why they went to school. Now it's been reduced to barely being able to pay tuition and helping with rent costs. And they've got different type of loans. Are we going to make bankruptcy illegal? Because it's the same thing. If you get into a massive amount of debt, what if you were robbed? Your account was robbed. You were robbed of $80,000 to $100,000, and now you're on the hook to pay it? No, we've had things in place before to allow bankruptcy because things go wrong. But human beings want to make permanent prisons. Hell was written by human beings. People keep talking about God and hell. Only a human being, as I best understand, could possibly want to imprison somebody forever and punish them repeatedly. There is no end to the punishment, right? You must be punished, punished, punished. Again, House of Prozorov, being real with it. And oh wait, do we have a phone call? Oh, that doesn't sound like much of a phone call. Okay, that's a little better. Ugh, horrible. It doesn't make any sense. Worthless. But that interrupted us for a second because I know a lot of people, what they want to do when you come strong with it and you have an argument against the elite and the established wealth system, they will want to discredit you. You are a lunatic. You have crazy ideas. You deserve to be imprisoned. I mean, the new thing is imprisoning everyone. Someone says something 10 years ago, the liberals are like trying to hold people to every statement they ever made is absolutely true. People change. One day you might hate something, the next day you might love it. Maybe the next year you might love it. We just have people that are so competitive, they're trying to build prisons for each other. Okay, you can't do that. You said something politically incorrect once 10 years ago, and you were carrying, I don't even support these clowns, these right-wing clowns. I have no connection to them, but they're carrying candles and whatever, and they're like the most evilest people on the planet. We got people killing people. Have some courage and fight against them. I don't know nothing about people carrying candles in Charlottesville. That's not my beef. I'm a liberal, but I don't permanently hold statements that people make against them, and I'm not Rachel Maddow and MSNBC. I don't come on TV saying somebody said something 10 years ago and that completely defines them forever, and they should never be in public office because they said a statement that's offensive to women or men or blacks or whites or Hispanics or whatever. Freedom. I'm for freedom. Freedom means there's going to be mistakes made. Freedom means you shouldn't be allowed to use an initiatory force to force people out so you get all the rights. No, slavery is very important. Defining the history of slavery is important. I'm not one of those people, let's erase history. Let's not destroy books. Let's not destroy statues. Let's not destroy people. More importantly, let's not destroy people and take away their freedom because, they have an opinion that I don't like. For example, if people like me so well, they would subscribe to my channel. I've been fighting to try and get subscriptions. So guess what? A lot of people do not like me. They have rejected me. Now, do I get special rights to wipe them out now forever because they have rejected me? And maybe even told me I suck. Do I have the right to stop them? Not if we're in America. You people don't want America. You want all these rules, and then more rules, and then more rules, and then more rules, and then more rules, and then they still don't protect the weakest people among us. We have courts that are horrible. It's unbelievable what the idiots out there that don't know about the courts. The courts, many people have had claims, hundreds of claims, hundreds and hundreds of violations against them. the courts would take those cases and not approve even one of them to a trial. They do it all the time. So when you tell me, although I'm not a supporter of Donald Trump, I've never voted for Donald Trump, when you tell me that he had 0 claims and not a single claim was taken up by the court, that also happens to very poor people. Those cases are never brought to a jury trial. So what you've done, you hate Donald Trump, and you want to keep poisoning the minds of people with your hate. You want to completely disregard that he got along quite well with a lot of African American people. You want to disregard that for one thing only. You want to call him a racist, a bigot, a rapist. I have no idea if all these things are true or false. All I know is people deserve freedom, not to be forever imprisoned in your prison center. You are doing the work of the devil. You're doing exactly what you said the right wing was doing. You are imprisoning people so they can only have one opinion, that which is approved by MSNBC. That is evil. That is wrong. And you think you're going to get away with it. And you might. You are getting away with it. You have curtailed freedom of speech for some greater good. And there is no greater good than freedom of speech. And the freedom to get away from someone's freedom of speech. The right to not be a captive audience. And you can only do that with money. Usually you can only escape if you have money, if you have another house, or you have another place to go, or you have some place to leave. You liberals want to say you're liberal, and then you don't talk about money. But then you go around and you do things that I find repulsive. Now next week I'll probably be going off on the GOP, because that's what I do. I go off on politicians. I go off on the right. I go off on the left. I'm not being controlled by you. I'm not being intimidated by you. This is House of Prozorov. The right to freedom of speech should not be curtailed all the time because you're offended. I'm offended all the time too. Does that mean anything? Talent on loan from the mob. And let's close this with something interesting. None of that was very interesting at all. And as far as the sounds that I was able to come up with. But let's close off the day with this. Goodbye, 6/29/24, House of Prozorov, giving you hope.